Welcome to a replay of Ottomans versus French. So the start is fairly standard. Oh, I've got 3 on gold this time. And everyone else on food, obviously. Trade network. I mess up slightly and lose my scout, and they then steal my sheep. It was a quite close game, this one. So yeah, the scout mess up's annoying because a lot of the map remained in darkness for pretty much the whole game, but because I played the map a couple of times before, well, more than a couple of times before, I pretty much know where everything is, so not too bad. Gold moves around, but yeah, a couple of gold spots move around, but basically the big golds over here always stay there. And yeah, various things stay in each instance. Well, we've got an initial raid, which doesn't do too well, kind of pushes me off various things, and I have to kind of waste a bit of time. But otherwise, not particularly effective. Obviously French have that capacity to get Royal Knights quite early, which can be a pain, and I have currently no military units whatsoever. They have one more villager. I'm wondering either they killed the villager on that initial raid or I've just been a bit slow. So yeah, quite good from them for capturing these various places, and I still haven't figured out, I haven't used the higher Ronin option yet. So we're getting into castle, and this is where the Ottomans kind of start to come into their own. It's just dependent on how quickly I can kind of sort myself out, basically. Now I'm in castle. They're already building, as you can see, a bit of an army, and they were quite a good adversary. They weren't messing around. Look at that food income. So yeah, nice soft target down here. Probably should have gone a bit earlier. There you go. Obviously I shouldn't have done what I did here with the spearmen. That was a bit of an error. Should have just followed them this way, but I decided not to. That was slow as well, that was poor. That was very poor, actually. And this is a bit of a, yeah, not great. It works initially because they just kind of run past, but then they just cut them down pretty easily. Obviously the better idea would have been to just shadow them this way and then that way. So this way I did lose blacksmith and whatever else. Obviously I have ballistas on these towers as soon as I kind of could have done, which is a standard thing I do with the Ottomans. Quite useful. Going a bit crazy on lumber. I'm very much on the back foot at the moment, obviously. They destroy barracks. Not quite sure where these are going. I don't actually quite remember what the... This was yesterday now, so... Quite remember what I did here. Oh, do I put them... I've got some agar and gold up here. And I might go and find some food, is that what I do? Yes, that's what I do, berries. That's obviously a significant risk. And that's annoying, because they're expensive. They take out a couple of military schools in this game, which is a pain. They're just kind of soaking up that ballista damage though, they seemingly don't care. I was obviously quite worried that they'll find these guys, but it's a risk worth taking, in my view. And I've just about got enough, including with the help from the ballistas, to drive them off. And again, here what I do, think, because this is 30 people and we've got enemy cavalry coming towards them, I do move them off. Because I wasn't 100% sure if they'd just keep going and then just waypoint them back on. Thereby, they would have got there, you know, in a second or two, and then I would have been able to move continue the villagers coming off. But anyway, that was an interesting first push, and yeah, so they're doing better in terms of villagers, better in terms of resources, and probably, you know, similar at least in terms of military soldiers now. Because again, the Ottomans are kind of slightly coming into their own at about 16, 17 minutes, starting to anyway. Their plan is obviously intense Royal Knight raids, which is a good plan, it's not a bad plan at all. I realise I'm behind on villagers, and so I do a double town centre. Not 100% sure, no, probably a good idea. Berries have gone, so I move on to gold resource right next to it. Not protected at all. Yeah, overview statistics. Oh, no one's got any relics. Shame. They're doing much better still. This is going to be pretty problematic, I'd suggest. I'm trying to produce Janissaries. Janissaries are good versus Royal Knights, as long as you can get that kind of critical mass. There we go, they're coming. I think I might be a bit late in this. Yeah, I am a bit late in this. So yeah, I've started to move. So yeah, they've taken out a military school, which is a bit annoying. It's quite a nice strategy they've got going on, where they just go on crazy big raids with the significant numbers of cavalry. It's quite a good game, this one, I think, actually, to be honest. In terms of statistics, again, overall, they're doing just better. Let's see in terms of upgrades as well. Yeah, so I've got no, because my blacksmith is gone, so I've got no military blacksmith upgrades at all. Slightly problematic. They've got more troops in general, and more villagers. Still doing really badly. In retrospect, another tower or two would have probably helped. I mean, these are nice, and they've worked quite well actually throughout the game so far. Not quite sure where I'd put another one. Maybe one just here. Maybe one. I don't know. Maybe another one here. I could have obviously tried walling off and whatever else. Which would probably made sense. Give me some time at least to move troops into the right area. Now I'm double town centred. I've kind of slowly just about caught up on villager production, or I'm catching up anyway. I've got siege. They don't have mangonels, which is what that means. Now I've got a large number. Yeah, so I just go after some deer. I realise that it's a bit of a pain because that's a long distance they're going to have to come back to. But it's just easy food. And essentially my plan is to get enough food to Imperial push, as I usually do with the Ottomans. Obviously getting some farms on the go as well. I've now finally got a blacksmith up and running. A bit late in the day, but there we are. 22 minutes in now. It's a bit late for me to push at 22 minutes. There we are. Enemies push now. Let's see how I do. Slow with these. Very slow. Very, very slow. Also quite slow with the town bell there. Big old army here. They're still just raiding. They're still just trying to be a bit of a nuisance. Not kind of going for it. Oops. They've still, I remember, got all these. So they're getting extra income from that merchant camp. They've got line of sight. And they're going heavy on those villagers. See, I should have just chucked a few. I was very much on the defensive, I think, which was the issue. And so I was being ultra kind of cautious. Caught up on villagers now, which is nice. So if you see what I'm doing, this is super risky, obviously. But I'm looking to move on to essentially I'm looking to come eventually, slowly, round the back, which is how I think you most likely win this game, especially because going against this, I don't, if I can help it, want to go against this force straight out. I want to try and defend myself and go around the back, essentially. This is exactly what I'm doing here. Now, I've messed up a bit, because they can obviously see this, unless they're really dumb. I get on the stone. I'm not sure if that was a good idea, to be honest. Actually, in retrospect, might have been a bit stupid. Maybe I should have just got on the gold. I normally just get on the gold, to be honest. See, they should have pushed now, and they would have won, probably. If they'd have pushed now, they'd have probably won. I think they would have probably won. Oh, well, I mean, I would have to have moved all the villagers off everything and basically run away. So this is a huge risk I'm taking, massive. And this is obviously the plan, so your waypoint, you can kind of see the plan. And I can't see any of this, so I don't know that I'm kind of going round exactly where the enemy will be able to see, but nevertheless. There we are. And I'm starting to get a little bit of a force here that will at least slow down the enemy. And they're going for Red Palace. Wait, where are they putting that? Put that here, don't they? Yeah. Defensive landmark. Yeah, it's unlucky. That's actually quite unlucky. On their account, that's quite unlucky. They don't get that up in time. If they'd have put all these villagers on that Red Palace, it would have been a much harder proposition for me. Now, what's the situation here? Now, I'm going to slow it down a bit, because this is where it gets interesting. So, they're not able to get that Red Palace up in time. They've noticed the threat quite early, actually. And here we go, they're a bit slow in moving villagers off. I put the Seagate Castle just there. Bit annoying that I attack move the red this way, which is probably silly. I should have been a little bit more conservative here, I think, because I know that they have a very large force and I'm going to struggle against it. I should have been more conservative. I just wanted to kill as many villagers as I could. And then, there we are. I wasn't 100% sure whether they'd do that or whether they'd try and attack me. I think if I was them, instead of doing this, I would probably attack me. Mangonels are going to... Yeah, that's not really working for me, is it? I need to obviously bring them in range. Ugh. What are they doing that for? No. Okay. I don't know whether that was an error on their part or not. Or whether he just changed his mind. Not sure. Why he's shooting a fucking farm? What's going on there? This is quite nice though. I haven't got many upgrades, as you can see here. They're better than me significantly on upgrades, and they're just absolutely... The number of cavalry here is crazy. So I now decide I need a keep. I've got 15 villagers in the Seagate Castle, and I'm upgrading as fast as I can, but it's not, you know, it's not going to be easy. Slow down a bit more. They've still got a very significant force here. Very significant force here. And they're still doing better than me statistically. Obviously, this is very good for me because this has got a soft spot. It's got some random cavalry here that are doing nothing, not quite sure why. Oh, this is close. I decide, right, castle next to there, and then just try as much as I can to repair this. I know it's crazy because they're gonna obviously attack the villagers, but you know, if it works, it works. Don't knock what works. And so I repair it a little bit. Yeah, it's not great. These, yeah, Maybe I should have kept on. Maybe I should have just kept all those villagers on and just not cared about a lot of them dying. I don't know. And also, maybe next time, what I want to do is get textiles, because I always lose a load of villagers on this push. Well, not always, but very often lose a load of villagers on this push. Look how close it is. It's very close. Still got a lot of enemies. And it's ridiculous, isn't it? I think it would have actually helped to have just kept all those to have gotten textiles early on in the game. I think I'll do that next time. Get textiles early on, or a little mid game, where it's not too costly, and then just have kept the villagers on there. Yeah, it's done now. Maybe I should have kept the villagers on there, or at least for a little bit longer. And so they do destroy this, obviously. Done. And they kill presumably 15 villagers, unless I'm able to run away. But at the same time, because I've been obviously creating a military force, they've still got more military than I have, though. But do their kind of double-pronged attack, you'd expect. Such that well, the plan at least is to deny them this food income. And then also be attacking here. So I'm... God, it's close, isn't it? Extremely close. They decide not to go, I think, after the villagers. They were on them. Yeah, start getting myself some of these in the future. Obviously, the sensible plan... Do I do this plan? I'm not sure. I waypoint it off. Bit far, actually. Should have come back, obviously. You know, the Janissaries versus those Royal Knights is quite a good matchup for me. Catapult coming down. I haven't switched this over to Great Bombard yet. Now everything's pretty close, to be honest. But I think from their perspective, it was not. It was kind of looking like it was its turn the other way, which is fair enough. I think they could have stayed. They could have continued that fight, to be honest, but they decided not to. Good game, really good game.